Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you may be on planet Earth today, we're gonna start this right. We're gonna just dive right on in. There is a press conference going on right now regarding, hey, Evanston, regarding this situation that happened down at AstroWorld in Houston. I want to listen to a little bit of this, y'all. This story is getting crazier by the second.
In this city. This incident is being thoroughly investigated and reviewed thoroughly. It is important for us to ascertain from last night what took place, what happened, where missteps may have occurred, and in so doing, there have been conversations with, for example, representatives of Live Nation. We'll continue to talk to Travis Scott's people. We'll talk to as many witnesses as we can who were present last night. We are talking with individuals who have been hospitalized to try to get a much better understanding of what took place, what went wrong, where were the missteps. Certainly, HPD and other law enforcement organizations will be looking at as much of the video footage as possible to try to ascertain what took place. We'll look at the security plans themselves. We'll look at the collaboration that took place between the county and the city, even leading up to this particular event. As you know, NRG is a county facility. This is where this incident occurred, but it also occurred inside the city of Houston. So we'll look in depth at the collaboration between the two entities. In terms of personnel, and Chief Fenner can go into this even more, but let me just say preliminarily, we know that there were about 528 HPD officers that provided security for the event, and an additional 755 persons representing private security that Live Nation had that was providing security at this particular facility. So there are let me just say to you, there are a lot of unanswered questions. And over the next several days, several weeks, could be even longer, we'll take an in-depth look at everything that took place, why it took place, what steps we can do moving forward to mitigate an incident of this kind from taking place at any other point in time. Now, there are a lot of rumors on social media. Let me caution people not to buy into the rumors, okay? Because there are a lot of rumors, but nothing is left off the table in terms of persons who were there, people who may have fainted, or people who may, for whatever reason, were transported to the hospital. There's a lot of conversation about people who crowd surge, all of those incidents, or whether or not anything else was involved. All of those things are being looked at, but it is way too preliminary now to draw any conclusions. But we're not taking anything off the table. This remains and will be a very active investigation. So with that being said, let me yield now temporarily to Judge Lena Hidalgo.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. And to all of the law enforcement professionals, first responders who have been part of a swift response. Thank you to them, and to all the Good Samaritans, because we know that it could have been much worse if so many people hadn't stepped in. The events of last night were tragic beyond belief. This is an artist that we know has a following amongst young people, in particular, young people with bright futures. Those were the people that were at the event, went to have a good time, and no one, no parent, no friend, no sibling should see their loved one off to a concert by a world-renowned artist and not be able to expect them to come home safely. And when we read these ages, 14, 16, 21, 21, 23, 23, 27, just breaks your heart. And I know that the images we've seen are hard to stomach, and I imagine more will surface that are hard to stomach. Since late last night, I've been on the scene. I spent time at the reunification center talking to families, hearing their anguish. Those that didn't know where their loved ones were, sometimes it's harder not to know. And so I appreciate everybody's work, collaboration, trying to identify everyone. Our primary focus has been to support the city of Houston, to support the Houston Police Department, the Houston Fire Department, as they were providing the security for the event, as we were helping and leading the response. We have been at the Reunification Center. Our Institute of Forensic Sciences is responsible for identifying the victims. I was in touch with the Dr. Sanchez there, and they are working as quickly as they can on those autopsies so that they can release the bodies to the families and get some answers as to ultimately the cause of these deaths. Throughout the morning, I and my team have also been on the phone with all of the relevant county agencies, trying to untangle as much as we can about what may have led to this. The roles in particular that Live Nation, that the city of Houston, and that Harris County had in any of this. It may well be that this tragedy is a result of unpredictable events, of circumstances coming together that couldn't possibly have been avoided. But until we determine that, I will ask the tough questions, and that's what I've spent the morning doing. What I know so far is that Live Nation and AstroWorld put together plans for this event, a security plan, a site plan, that they were at the table with City of Houston and Harris County, with City of Houston agencies and with Harris County's NRG Park. And so perhaps the plans were inadequate. Perhaps the plans were good, but they weren't followed. Perhaps it was something else entirely. The families of those who died and everybody affected deserve answers as to what took place last night. And that's why I'm calling for an objective, independent investigation as to what went on, and how it could have been prevented, or how, or if this was a particular situation that was simply out of everybody's hands. And I have directed county agencies to, as soon as we get that underway, cooperate, and I expect and hope the same for everybody else involved. As you all are aware, there was a similar incident in 2019 with AstroWorld. There was a breaching of barricades. There were some issues with crowd control. Actions were taken after that experience. There was stronger fencing, more and more robust barricades, more personnel and more security personnel. You guys heard the increase in the officers. 2019 had 47 HPD officers. 2021 had 76 Houston Police Department officers. There was an increase in terms of private security, an increase in terms of event security. There was additional space for crowd control. But I want to know, and the community deserves to know, if more needed to have been done. So we'll focus on objectively finding out and reporting what happened, how it could have been prevented. And the public has a role here too. If you have any information as to what took place, let us know. Let the Houston Police Department know. Rumors, as the mayor said, that's not what we need, but there are some serious questions that need to be asked. So to the families, our hearts go out on behalf of Harris County. Our hearts go out to you, and just know that we won't give up on asking the tough questions about what exactly took place here. I'll repeat remarks in Spanish after everybody speaks. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Let me two things that I do want to acknowledge and offer my condolences to all of the families who lost loved ones, and to those family members who were injured. So I do want to do that. Number one, I want to offer our condolences and our prayers to them. Secondly, I do want to acknowledge the quick response of the Houston Fire Department EMS unit. They had units that were already stationed around NRG Stadium, and they were able to step in immediately when reports of incident occurred. So to Chief Pena, to his entire team, to HFD, to EMS, I do want to acknowledge their very quick response. And then from the moment, for example, the reports were made known in terms of people falling injured, let's say roughly at about 9:30, this event came to an end at 10 minutes after 10 is when everything stopped. And people were in between, either seen on the site or they were transported to area hospitals. So I do want to acknowledge the very quick response EMS units and the fact that this event did come to an end at 10:10. And we do want a very, will be nonstop in terms of the review of this particular matter. Now, Chief Fenton.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Mayor said it. We want to send condolences to the family. Nobody, as everybody's hurting, our police department, our fire department, all our citizens. Nobody's hurting more than the family members. And our prayers go out to them. And I ask the whole nation, because I know it's other news medias here, not just local, to pray for the family. I want to go over a few things. Last night, I put out some numbers in terms of security, police officers and private security. I gave the number of 367 police officers. That number was the number that we had assigned for the evening shift. We actually had 528 because we held over day shift officers. Live Nation has just reported to us that they had 755 security officers. A lot of security out there. But as everyone is saying, we leave no stones unturned. This has not happened to us ever in Houston since I've been a police officer. And we take pride of it. And we're going to get down to the bottom. A lot of narratives out there right now. A lot of them on social media and even last night. I think that all of us need to be respectful of the families and make sure that we follow the facts and the evidence. And that's what we're trying to do here in the Houston Police Department. I will tell you, one of the narratives was that some individual was injecting other people with drugs. We do have a report of a security officer, according to the medical staff that was out and treated him last night, that he was reaching over to restrain or grab a citizen, and he felt a prick in his neck. When he was examined, he went unconscious. They administered Narcan. He was revived, and the medical staff did notice a prick that was similar to a prick that you would get if somebody's trying to inject. That is one part of it. The other thing that's very important, there were some individuals that were trampled, and we want to be respectful of that. But we just ask that y'all give us time to do a proper investigation. Live Nation has stated from the very beginning that they would cooperate. They're going to give us the video sometime this evening. I spoke to my commander in homicide. So we're waiting to get that. That's going to help us. But also want to call out to the community, kids and young individuals that was out there. If you see something, say something. This is now a criminal investigation that's going to involve our homicide division as well as narcotics. And we're going to get down to the bottom of it. I just want to thank Live Nation and everybody else out there. There was cooperation. I also want to say thanks to our police officers. A lot of them administered CPR. Executive Chief Larry Satterwhite was out there. And something that was important, and the mayor just said it, but I want to hit it again. 9:30, right there. That's when a few people started going down. Our people stepped up and immediately went to the producers and told them, hey, people are going down. This show ended at 10:10 p.m. So I just want to acknowledge that. As far as arrests last night, 25 arrests, 23 of those 25 were trespassers. 1 possession of marijuana and 1 public.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you guys in the chat. I just wanted, when they get to those parts of the pressers or whatnot. Oh,
Sincere condolences to the families of the victims.
hold on.
This is an unimaginable tragedy.
All right, so it's going to be a whole triage of thank yous and this sort of a thing, but it is this is a tragedy right now that is hanging very heavy over the city of Houston, hanging heavy over the state of Texas, and our sincerest condolences to any and all who are affected by this. Our sincerest condolences. I can't even take you to Twitter today to show you some of the videos because I know that I'll get a strike on my channel. It's unfortunate. I can stay live on Twitter and on Facebook, but unfortunately, YouTube has gotten really strict on the types of content I can show you guys. And a lot of that content, a lot of these videos were very disturbing, to say the very least. So let's start from the beginning, shall we? Now, these I've already vetted, and, this is all, stuff TMZ. I feel like I have to say this, that warning, this is viewer content viewer content advisory, as you might want to say. I'm actually looking for my banner that actually says that. Yeah. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay. Please. Viewer discretion is advised because this is a really heavy topic. 8 people are dead. Over 300 people have been injured in this situation that happened. But guys, what's really nuts here is they're saying that someone in the crowd, this is what sources are saying, that somebody in the crowd started injecting victims with a syringe, which then caused a stampede, which, y'all, I don't even know what to say to that. Again, this is all allegations, alleged, but this is being reported on a lot of major news stations at this point. So I think it's okay to say it and not feel like I'm putting any sort of like false news or anything out there. Now, what bothered me, I'm not even going to lie to you, is some of the footage that I've seen. What sort of bothered me was they kept on going. They kept going. There was this one part where Travis Scott, and baby that he couldn't see. Hey, Michael Phillips, how are you? Peace to you. And maybe Travis wasn't able to see, but it was like right in his line of sight. And he was singing. And it looks like the guy was not breathing. And they were lifting him up, trying to get him out of here. Now, I've heard that Travis has some really intense concerts. Mosh pits, that used to be a thing for like rock concerts, but I guess they do that now with rap concerts too. Hey, Queen.
I really be talking about shit in Houston because I love you so much. You've been with me for so many years.
So this is like right before the surge even happened, right? There was no indication that there was any surge that was gonna happen. They say before chaos erupted, Travis stopped the show several times during his 75-minute set after noticing some of the fans in the front seemed in distress. He told security to make sure they weren't hurt. At one point, Travis asked for security to help a specific individual. But it sounds like what some people are saying is that somebody started injecting fentanyl from a syringe into these people. And it's what caused the stampede. I would be very interested to find someone talking about that. You know, sleuthers are going to be going through these videos, but I can assure you the best stuff you'll find is going to be on Twitter. If you want, you know, the raw stuff, Twitter has them. Their rules are a lot more lax when it comes to what you're allowed to post. There was like ambulances literally going through the crowd, y'all. People were dancing on top of the ambulances. There apparently 11 people actually went into cardiac arrest. 8 died in the stampede. I don't know if there was a couple of them they were able to bring back, but let's just take a look at some of this. I hate that. One concert goer named Madeline, a nurse, tells TMZ she was there with her boyfriend when Travis took the stage. During the first song, people started pushing toward the stage, and she says she began to feel lightheaded.
Everybody get to the middle, feet up in the sky. Oh my God. Open it up. 2 hands to the sky. 2 hands to the sky. 2 hands up, y'all. 2 hands up. Y'all know what y'all came to do. Chase me. Let's go.
They say someone working at the festival says that people were hopping even on camera platforms, begging the concert staff to end the show after the stampede erupted. They said anything that was climbable was climbed. They also said there were several thousand pairs of shoes left behind as people fled. One sec. Okay, sorry about that. I swear I be feeling like, you know, y'all be trolling me. It's like every single time I go live, one of y'all will call that business number, that that text now number. I'm literally going to recycle that bitch just because. So weird. Okay. So the police have just confirmed where is this at? Where did you see this at? Because we were just looking at the live press conference.
Participen, espero todos los demás hagan.
Where the concert was being at the stage. So again, our role in this is to participate with the police department venue. Okay, that's the state's primary concern from the Houston Fire Department to ensure that we were monitoring the progress and the event. From the time, as Mayor mentioned, from the time that the incident started to escalate around 9:30, we requested additional resources to
Okay.
To augment those
Thanks,
that were
Camden.
already pre-positioned around.
So basically, it's, you know, it's weird that this story is going this direction. But right before the guy who is the fire chief, it was this man here, right? Yeah, we played that part earlier.
25 arrests, 23 of those 25 were trespassing.
Yeah. So it's really strange. So Houston authorities are they are now addressing this, and what they're looking for is whether or not there's any evidence to suggest that these 8 people who have died whether or not they were triggered into cardiac arrest via outside influence or third party, namely a would-be culprit who was allegedly going around and injecting folks with a syringe. The rumors I'm hearing is it was some sort of fentanyl. And you guys know we've seen some stories and things we've covered before about fentanyl and how strong that drug is, like literally legit. Even police officers have pulled up, accidentally came across fentanyl at a stop, touched it, and it knocked them down and their heart stops. It literally slows, it's an opioid that slows the heart and the breathing down. And so apparently this, if this is correct, if someone was going around injecting someone with a syringe of any kind of drug, regardless of what it was, that obviously would have caused mass hysteria, right? Now, videos are surfacing which clearly show people were attempting to flag down festival personnel in any capacity to get them to stop the show. I did see this video. I'm going to show you guys this. It's actually really difficult to watch it because it's like you may be just the cameraman, but these people are telling you that there's people dying. And he did not stop filming. He kept filming, and it's just really weird, you know. But I'm going to show you all this. You should have been filming that crowd, hey? No telling what kind of evidence he may have caught. There's no telling what kind of evidence may be on cell phone cameras. Every one of y'all who was down there at AstroWorld, if you are filming, you need to look at your film and make sure that you don't have anything that may be good for, or needed for law enforcement. You never know what you might have captured on your phone if you were filming.
Katie, somebody help jump in real quick. Somebody jump in, come on.
I mean, I don't know what to say about the continuance of singing, but he's also not a paramedic either, right? But at the same time, I also have never been in front of a crowd of 50,000 people where it was my ultimate responsibility to entertain these people either. So I can't even begin to put myself in that situation to understand what he may have done wrong or not done wrong. An investigation will ensue on that. I'm very interested in how this tragedy began. That's what I'm interested in. Now, I can't show you this video because I'm not even sure if the guy's even dead or alive. All I can tell you is as they were lifting the guy, he did not look like he was alive. And yes, Travis was still singing. But, you know, I'm not an entertainer like that. So I don't know what the part of the course is for that one. But I think it would be very disingenuous, you know, if his team took no responsibility for any of this. You know, I'm pretty sure he feels horrible about that, about what has happened. But, you know, 8 people are dead. 8 people that were huge fans of Travis Scott. And what's even crazier to me is as the ambulances tried in dire straits to get through these crowds, people jumped on him and started dancing on the damn ambulances, y'all. There's people dying. Where did things go wrong? Where did things go wrong? You know that there is going to be so many documentaries that are going to come from this. Oh yeah, Natalie, lawsuits are definitely going to come from this. Just unbelievable. Let's go on over here to Twitter here. And look, fentanyl is trending in Texas now, guys. Fentanyl is now trending. If you were there, if you caught any footage or if you've seen someone injecting someone with a syringe, please get to the authorities as fast as you can, or get your notepad out and write down what that person's features looked like before you forget. It's only natural for the brain to forget things, especially after a tragedy.
There's another small boy right there hanging in the tree right there. I see somebody in the tree. Turn the lights on.
And they're begging him to stop the show.
Turn the lights on.
Ugh. Hold on. I'm just kind of vetting this stuff before I read it out. I see 3 bodies sprawled out and people who I assume were medical staff doing CPR. I immediately see, hold on. They say it was a shit show, y'all. People were getting carried out with their eyes rolled back into their heads, foaming at the mouth. Now, that's not normal to foam at the mouth from a stampede, now is it? It's crazy. Hey, Alpha Thug, I can't believe this is even happening. Y'all, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to talk sacrifice type stuff. Y'all know how the Illuminati crowd gets. But why would anybody be foaming at the mouth from, a crushing or trampling situation? That's more something you see in an overdose type situation. And I guess that's why they're strongly insinuating that there is a culprit that may have been injecting people with fentanyl. Let's see if we look at the tag, if we find any video of anything in Texas that may show any sort of proof of what they're saying. There was Narcan initiated on scene. Okay, so Narcan is something, you guys, that is used commonly for an opioid overdoses. A lot of times, when you see people that have overdosed, they put that thing up their nose. That's Narcan. And it sounds like a lot of it was used.
We do know that there were many instances where they did administer Narcan.
Now, that's scary. If there were several instances in which they had to administer Narcan, that tells me one of 2 things. Either one, somebody did inject multiple people with some sort of opioid that overdosed them immediately, and fentanyl could have absolutely knocked them in the dirt instantly, right? Or 2, a bunch of people decided they were going to, take the same opioid drug at the same exact time. Don't you find that interesting? I find it highly unlikely that there would have been, a whole group of people making a decision to sit down and shoot one up at the same exact time. That's kind of strange.
When they did administer Narcan on scene.
On scene.
Yes, ma'am. So the number of Narcan administrations, we don't have that number. We do know that there were several, many instances. Where
I want that number. I want to know how many canisters of Narcan they had to administer to these people last night.
We know that there were several, many instances where they did administer Narcan.
Wow. Wow. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I didn't even mean to show that. Hold on. I don't want to show anything graphic or nothing because I don't want to be struck, y'all. So y'all got to give me a minute now. I got to bring this over here. And let me get past that. Because I can explain to you what I'm looking at. It appears to be a officer giving a young man CPR while Travis and them were still singing on the stage. Actually, it's multiple people receiving CPR at the same time. It looks like 3 people. So it looks like there's 3 individuals receiving CPR in this particular clip at the same time. All right, give me a sec here, because again, I just don't want...
Purge, but I believe they're fentanyl. Anyway, I'll be here. I'm a homeless man. Hi, excuse me, what's that? I'm looking for the blue M30s. People call them the Purge, but I believe they're fentanyl. Anyway, I'll be here.
The fuck? Okay, that's just me trying to go through that particular hashtag. Give me a sec, because I'm looking through the AstroWorld hashtag also. And I'll just kind of let that run while I...
Oh, but I don't think this incident is related to what happened that caused the deaths. Okay? Anything else, for whatever reason, start rushing, and it got out of control a little bit, but we got it under control. But I don't think this incident is related to what happened that caused the deaths. Okay?
I know what he's saying. He's like, this is the best explanation we got, but you get what he's saying too. Basically what he's saying is like the stampede or whatever incident, this must have been last night, is not what caused the actual deaths of the people.
Anything else?
Again, multiple canisters of Narcan had to be administered. So who was this mystery culprit injecting people?
No, and again, I want to thank Live Nation and everybody.
Why are we thanking Live Nation? I don't want to thank Live Nation right now. You know? I'm not feeling like in a thankful type of mood like that. Like, what the hell?
Who answered this guy? Who answered this guy? Put your hands up. Y'all know what y'all came to do. Chase me. Let's go.
They're so close to Travis Scott. Why is he still going on with it? Like,
who answered this guy? Who answered this guy? Put your hands up.
wow.
Y'all know what y'all came to do. Chase me. Let's go.
Like, you know what I just thought all of a sudden? Like, why didn't Travis Scott have some sort of like emergency phone device on his person? Like, if there was a real sincere emergency like this going on, because he's in the music and it's, he probably can't hear much of anything going on, out in the crowd if you can't see it. Although, who knows? We can't see through Travis Scott's eyes, but There should have been some sort of emergency ping device or something, a phone, a beeper, whatever, where he knows if that motherfucker goes off while he is on the stage, it's got to be a serious emergency. You know, I mean, come on. Now, Kylie Jenner posted an Instagram story of the AstroWorld concert with responders in the crowd like nothing happened. 8 people confirmed dead. Travis Scott didn't stop the performance. Stop thinking that celebrities care.
Probably gonna be like at least 100 people who don't. It just felt like we was like literally like in fucking hell, bro. Like it felt like we was in a concert in hell. You couldn't breathe. You couldn't see. Like just imagine all the people they're gonna find tonight who was in that crowd, who nobody could see, who nobody could hear, who passed out, and everybody was just trampling on top of them the whole fucking concert. Like
wow.
I'm thinking it's probably gonna be like at least 100 people who dead tonight. Like I kid you not. Like in the VIP section, it was so many bodies laid out. People was getting pulled out who was fainted, and the medics were trying to give them CPR, and they was flipping them over, and like they was literally turning them black and blue. Like I never seen death in my fucking life, bro. Just by me alone, it was probably like 10 fucking people laid out dead. And like once the medics tried to help them, they wasn't responding. They moved to the next person. It was nothing they could have do. Like this shit really fucked me up and like really spooked me tonight. Like that was like some demonic shit. Like, and what was so crazy, like people were screaming help, trying to tell Travis Scott. It was like help. The whole crowd was just going like help, help, help. And he just kept going, bro. It was like that shit was scary, bro. It was so demonic, bro.
Wow.
And mind you, y'all see the type of music I make. Y'all see everything, like, you know, like I've been so heavily influenced by Travis, but like after tonight, bro, like God really showed me, like, you know, like stay away from that shit, bro. Like that shit not for you, cause like he sacrificed so many people's lives tonight, like for real.
Wow.
Like so many people's lives are gone tonight because they want to go to a fucking Travis Scott concert and have fun. You know, he influenced people to be raging and all this shit. So many people broke in and it was just chaos, bro. It was a living fucking hell, bro. Imagine seeing all those dead bodies, and that was just by me.
I don't know who that young man is, but I sure thank him for that video and letting us all know what he experienced. Now, this is not what caused, you know, the incident, from my understanding. Jesus. See, they're going to make Travis Scott look real bad. They are. They're going to make him look bad.
Let's go. Let's go. Injections back. Straight from Mexico on the Pizarro.
So dangerous, you know.
Get that motherfucker, get him. You tried to take my shoe? You want to be a thief? Fuck him up. 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 Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Boo! Boo! Boo!
Wow. He's 10, man.
Fuck his ass up.
He's 10, dude. He's only 10. God. Damn, that dude's that mad about some goddamn shoes? Right? Are we serious? He's that pissed off about some shoes, as much money as he makes? God dang. Okay, but whatever. You know, I don't know. It's just those types of things only going to like influence my thoughts of him as I watched how, he continued this concert as people were dying right in front of him. I mean, that is a legit thing that happened. Unfortunately, that's what happened. Travis Scott stops the music at AstroWorld, mentions an ambulance saying, "Whoa," but continues the show, then brings Drake out. Crowd gets even more intense with unconscious bodies being crowd surfed out or on the ground while people were still raging on them. What the freaking heck?
Anyone got some water? There's an ambulance in the car. Anyone got some water?
The spookiest part of the set was this moment. People are waving at the camera for help. The trippy outro instrumental playing, and someone passed out on the floor. All right, now, Betty, you're a welcomed troll over here, but let my girl live now. Let my girl live. Yeah, Queen's got much more seniority than you do over in these parts. What's up, Chopper? So this was the outro, apparently. And then too, you gotta, if I think I was gonna say we should think about how Travis may be feeling. He put this concert on and this, festival. He probably put a lot into it. I'm sure a lot of money, a lot of all of that. But the truth of the matter is that when there's people that are sitting there literally dead in front of you and you're still singing, and they're begging you to stop, it's just weird. This shit is weird. It's just weird and crazy, and y'all, I'm just like, who in the world would even think that, to go to a concert and inject people with fentanyl or inject them with some sort of a substance. And people are definitely saying things like, I guess this guy was unconscious, but he still was singing, looking right at him. Yeah, my question today is, how much support has Travis Scott lost, because this looks really bad. It does. No lie. This looks bad. Look, they're even trying to stop the show. Remember, we watched this clip from the other side. She keeps saying someone's dying. And they were literally trying to climb on anything to get this to stop. But apparently, one of the victims was 10 years old. Dozens were rushed. 11 total went into cardiac arrest. Again, the very interesting thing to me is the amount of Narcan that they administered. There's only one reason to administer Narcan, and that is to stop an opiate overdose.
Do it. But we're going to do an investigation, investigate everybody in our city, pray for these families. And we're going to get through it. But we're going to do an investigation and find out, because it's not fair to the producers, to anybody else involved until we determine what happened, what caused the surge. We don't know, but we will find out. And is there anything criminal? We've heard rumors of people injecting some people of drugs. So I want to check all that out. We'll open up for questions.
He seems pretty serious about that too. Like it's not normal for a chief of police to say something like that at a press conference if he don't have some strong suspicion to believe that, you know. So they definitely know more than what they're telling us. People are just like, why is he just standing there singing, looking at him? This is bad. It's weird. But maybe at his concerts, he sees lots of, people passed out. And then, of course, remember how we talked about how people were dancing on top of the ambulances? The ambulances are trying to get through the damn crowd. Unbelievable, man. It's almost like it's no man's land in there, you know? It's almost like it was like some kind of no man's land. Boy, the camera quality of a lot of these cell phones is getting really good, isn't it? There were ambulances literally inside the crowd at AstroWorld. I mean, can't even barely get through. I would have been so annoyed to have been the driver. So check this out. So out of the 8 people that have been confirmed dead, there was a total of 17 individuals that had to be transported to the hospital. And there were actually 11 who had cardiac arrest.
That's scores of individuals that were injured here in this event. We had an attendance of approximately 50,000 to the Travis Scott AstroWorld Festival event. What we do know is that at approximately 9 o'clock, 9:15, the crowd began to compress towards the front of the stage, okay? And that caused some panic, and it started causing some injuries. People began to fall out, become unconscious, and it created additional panic. We transported, the Houston Fire Department transported.
So, he says that, but the truth of the matter is what caused that stampede to occur. And the chief of police is very clearly saying that at this time they are investigating the possibility that there was a culprit injecting some of these victims with some form of drug, some form of opiate drug, and that several canisters of Narcan had to be administered. Those we're not talking about trampled type of injuries, that sort of a thing. So we're talking about legit opiate overdose. And the Narcan it's immediate. As soon as they press the canister and they put it into your nose, I believe it goes up both nostrils. I believe one nostril, both nostrils. I don't think it would even matter. But as soon as they do it, it's seconds, and the person will begin to come to it. Like it reverses the effects. So, 1 second. All right, sorry about that. I was just kind of letting the comments go by. Sorry, I had that was a phone call. So I'm just going to end on this. This is there's no words. We definitely are going to be looking for what's going to come out in the investigation. This is a very, very cloudy, well, I should say gloomy day today, even though the sun may be shining. You know how some days it's just one of those horrible days. And I think that's kind of what it feels like right now for a lot of people. Wow. You can hear them screaming for help. Man, how does that happen? That feels so demonic. Oh, y'all, I can't do no more. It's so sad. Wow. Oh, yeah, let me go ahead and put this up. Queen's Throne niece was located, safe and found, and she has her son back. So that is a really, really good thing. And I'm glad that's the way that story closed out. Yeah, California Dreamin'. Salute up to you as well. There's no telling. There may be an update later on today. I would assume very safely that there's many different organizations that are investigating, FBI included. So thanks everybody for coming through. I'll see y'all next time.